Hello, welcome back to the channel. This will be a step-by-step guide for someone who wants to make this kind of braid on a child. This is for beginners. I am going to walk you and show you through every single thing you need to do from beginning to the end to achieve this type of look on a kid. First of all, when you open your pack of hair extension, this is how it comes. You're expected to cut it yourself unless you're getting the pre-stretched one. The pre-stretched one is the one that the ends are already uneven. But for this one, you have to open it and cut it into the length you want. This is determined by the length of the child's hair. It has to be longer than the child's hair, and also where you want the braid to stop, how long you want it to go. So I am cutting this hair extension into three because my client's hair is actually long. Now you can see that all the ends are blunt. If you braid it that way, your hair is going to unravel. We don't want them to be equal. So now we are going to pull on the ends just to make them uneven and make them have like different lengths. We don't want all of, not lengths, we don't want all the ends to be blunt. So everything I am doing here is just pulling on individual, not individual, like tiny bunches of the hair extension at once to change the where it's. I just don't want the blonde cut, okay? So don't make your hand tight. The only thing we want to do is pull off the hair so that the arrangement will be scattered. So make your hand loose. I mean like your left hand, make it kind of loose and then just pull the hair so that you have something like this, so that when you're braiding it's going to taper off into like a tiny point instead of having like a blunt end that is going to make it loose. Okay, so that's the whole thing. Then when you're done, this is my favorite type of brush to use, but you can use a comb if that is what you have. Start from the lower part of the hair, from the tip of the braiding hair. Start brushing that way and work your way upwards. Then get the child, pack her hair up because we are going to start from the back. So just make her hair into one very loose ponytail at the top of her head. Very loose, make it loose. If not, when you're sectioning it, it can be kind of tight and hurt the child. So we start from the back. I am not making the square I am not making the square lines today. I wanted to use the round ones. So I make my round shape. I get hair extension that is enough for me to braid one as we would in a regular braid with knots, but I'm making it knotless, so I'll go ahead and share that piece into 3 or 4, right? Then I would start braiding the hair, braid it about twice, and then feed in the hair extensions into the plaits or the braid. If you want to learn how to attach this hair extension to the hair as a beginner, I have a more detailed video that explains just how to start off your box braids, showing you different ways and the most beginner friendly way. I will have that video linked at the end of this one if you want to learn it specifically. Then when you start braiding the hair all the way to the end is going to make it look nicer. So you have to keep braiding. When one of the 3 legs becomes smaller than the others, you just pinch a little bit hair from the biggest one and feed into that one. If you have 2 that are big and one is small, you can pinch small hair from 2 and add into that third one. You have to aim to make sure the 3 legs are equal when you're braiding, because if one of them is smaller or they're uneven, the braid is not going to come out even. Like it won't be like smooth and long and just flat and even. It's going to have like gallops or crooked parts with it, maybe turning over. That's why some people's braid, they braid to an extent and then it's as if the braid somersaults and start braiding the facing another direction and it somersaults. That's from not having the 3 strands equal or the 3 legs of the braid equal. So now I am braiding the next one. So for the, even though I am not making like a box line with the brick format, right? I am making the round one. So at the nape of her neck, I'll have like 3, and then in between 2 braids, I would make the next circle. So when I come to the next stage, you'll see I have 3 braids at the back. then in between braid 1 and 2, on top of braid 1 and 2 in the middle, I would make another round section for the next braid. So I am still layering it like brick format. Brick format, you know how brick format is? When you have maybe brick 1, 2, 3, then in between 1 and 2 you have 4, in between 2 and 3 you have 5. Like you arrange your braids in a way that the line above the previous line are, the braids are in the middle. So now I have 1, 2, 3 here. My braid number 4 is going to be between 1 and 2. Braid number 5 is going to, like, no, braid number 4 is going to be just before braid 1. Then braid number 5 will be between 1 and 2. Braid number 6 will be between 2 and 3. Braid number 7 will be the rest of the distance to the other side of her ear. Like, just like that. Just layer your braids so that when you pack it up, all the braids have space on the scalp to lie down on. It's going to help you to be able to pack the hair flat. It makes it look fuller because every time you are looking at the hair, you have hair strands, you have braids covering the scalp almost all the way through, right? It makes it look fuller than when you have one braid stuck on top of another one, stuck on top of another one. It is just going to look bulky and not seamless. So this is my next braid. It starts from her skin, from her edge, all the way to half of the previous braid. So the next one I make will be from half of the one under all the way to half of the next braid under. Do you understand? You understand? Just watch what I do. When making these sections, it's like layered. I think about it and layer it that way. So we are going to continue this technique all the way to the top of her head. So I am just going to let you watch as the braids are stucked up so that you understand what I mean by the brick placement if you still do not get it. Again, remember to finish your braids. It makes it look neater. When you braid it until the braids are now, like the end of the braid is now very tiny. Braid it until you can almost not braid it again, and then you start the 2-strand twist to be able to finish it up. The least hair you can leave at the tip of the braid makes for the neatest braid. So just continue that. When we are done, we're just going to jump over to the front, but I'll let you see me sectioning more of the hair. And when we are done, I'll come back and explain what next you need to do. So once you are done with all the braids, you're going to use scissors and start going through the braids one after the other, snipping off the excess hair, the flyaways. We're basically just trying to make the braids neater. So if you can get even 60% of it done, you'll be good enough. Don't try to snip every single strand that is there. We just want to make the braids neater generally. So just lie your scissors flat down close to the braid, snip all the way to the top, and then go back, snip. We are snipping away the hair extensions that did not get tucked into the braids, or just random stray ones, not the person's hair. So you will do that all the way, and then when you're starting this process, go boil some water and then get towels, close the child's body, let them understand it's time for hot water. They need to sit as still as they can. You have to try. They have to be still so that you don't get hot water spilled on them. The whole you're done with this, the water will be boiling. Then you have it on if you can get a container that is slim and long, it's better than something that is short and fat, so that the whole water can just be safely contained. And if you get something that has a handle that can help you not to touch something hot while doing it, not to get heat transferred to your hand, because if you're startled from the hotness, you can spill the water on the person. So just get as much as the ends of the braid you safely can into the hot water. This is going to seal the ends of the braid to make sure it doesn't unravel. But if you have excess stiffness on the hair, my client has really thick hair, plus the hair extensions. I just dipped the hair in the hot water, then gathered her hair at the back. You can see the part I am pressing this thing on. Her scalp is not close to that surface at all. It's just bunch of braids that are stiff. So I am just using the steam or the hotness from the towel to make it more mobile, like to let it move around more flexible. And this is our end result. You can see it is not too full. For a child, you don't need to make the braids too full so that it's not heavy, and you have to consider that with the length too. So this is just perfect for us. I hope this video helps you. If it does, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Just click that thumbs up button, it helps. Thank you so much. Share with someone who might need this. Bye.